Hello, 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 everybody. Maris Rey, Water Dragon Extraordinaire, back at you again with another Genshin Impact live stream. You can imagine, today we're playing Genshin Impact. So, two things. One, the general planner for Genshin Impact for today, I don't know, maybe you probably already expected. We're gonna start off by the same way we always start off. Spending the resin, do commissions, do whatever other random daily stuff we need to do for whatever reason. And then I think we'll just transition into Smite. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people where when I hear of news to come, it excites me so much that I don't really want to do how would I say this? Too much of the current content. Does that make any sense? So, excuse me. Since we saw so much of Inazuma's stuff, Sumeru stuff, it's making me highly anticipate Sumeru to the point where I'm kind of losing interest in playing today. Sorry, my throat's feeling a bit off. I'm sure it was the energy that I just drank, but... maybe, maybe not.
Rest and rebuild! Everybody stand back!
One with nature, as one with wind and cloud. Wind strike.
Barbados! Guide us.
One with wind and cloud.
Billowing surge! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, let's see if we can get finally a decent artifact. I know I said, if this was attack, I would have been so happy. I know we said we were gonna do talents today for Beto, and realistically, we probably should because, I could afford to get Tide Collar up a little higher. But honestly, I don't really care that deeply about it. I'll consider it more when I can actually get her constellations, but up until then, it's kind of whatever.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Wind, hear me! Covenant of the deep!
Evidence of the deep.
Wind strike.
Kazuha's so strong. So again, for Beto, we're looking for attack percent. I didn't let me finish my sentence. We need attack percent on the sands, or electro damage on the goblet. Those are the main pieces that we're hunting for here.
Venture to teamwork is dreamwork!
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
Barbados, guide us! Hold the line! Everybody stand back!
The wind knows me. As one with wind
The
and
wind
cloud.
knows me.
Torrent, bring refuge! Rest and rebuild!
Wind strider.
Oops. I kind of butchered that one. 102. Damn. Not my greatest run ever. We're getting all of the pieces that we need, but not with the right main stats. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Don't forget, not only do we need these pieces for Beto, but we also need these pieces for for... Let me see, I forget. Boost. Need him for Beto. I think I might put Ganyu back on, because I don't ever play Ganyu with her charge shot. Definitely need it for Kujosara, Kaya. Does Yunjin use Emblem of Savagery? I don't really have any idea what Yunjin. What does her burst even do? AoE, geo damage, and grants all party members the thing. Bonus damage will be dealt based on Yunjin's current defense. When normal attack damage is dealt to opponents, bonus damage will be dealt. And the bonus damage is dealt by what? Is physical or geo? I understand that that's probably why they run her on like Yoimiya teams. This just gives a shield. And at what constellation does she give attack speed? She gives attack speed to enemies, right? Oh, this is what they want. So she needs to be at least C2. This is pretty okay, because that could help boost her normal damage bonus. Oh, all the way to C6 while shooting. Clearly I don't have that.
Wind strike, clouds high, the birds call.
Wind, hear me.
Into the wind.
Allow me.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Let's light it up. I'm going in. I swear by my sword.
The wind knows me.
The wind knows me.
Clouds high, the birds call. Into the wind.
That did not really take that long, but it counts the time in the menu. That's what that's all about. Nothing so great yet. And I do believe it's probably around time for me to redo the database that we made, the Genshin database. I'm sure I've showed it to you guys before, but I forget what it's called right now, so...
Time to go.
Everybody stand back. Wind, hear me.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Going in. Hold the line.
The wind knows me.
I swear by my sword. Uphill battle. Teamwork is dreamwork.
One with nature.
Uphill battle.
Leaves, adorn my night.
Go and fly.
Look at how easy that is. Can get Kazuha's burst back so quickly. It's effortless. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed pulling for Kazuha. Pulling for Kazuha was a great benefit to my account. Especially since we did get him to C2. Now, surely triple crowning him didn't add a whole lot to his overall value as a character, but I still really enjoy it, you know?
Everybody stand back.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strike.
Wind, hear me. Allow me.
The wind knows me.
Covenant of the deep.
The wind knows me.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Into the wind.
Go and fly.
Instead of me, I throw down the jellyfish. I'm doing the runs a bit slower than the past few days because I'm not running to the fire panel. But I'm starting to get too lazy to even do that. You know what they say though, it is what it is. It's because running to the fire pound. I mean, I think if I used a different character than Kokomi, it would probably be a little bit easier. It's precious.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud, the wind knows me.
Barbados! Guide us! Billowing surge!
Okay.
Into the wind.
That did not feel. I mean, no, it's still pre 50 seconds. It's because running to the thing just does not. It feels kind of awful. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, and I saved some seconds, but then I spent a couple seconds running longer to the tree. So, you know, what's really the difference, right? I'm sure I could use a team or a unit instead of Kokomi, but whatever. Who cares?
Hold the line! Teamwork is dreamwork!
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Wind, hear me! Covenant of the deep!
Get in with some of these.
Everybody stand back!
One with nature.
Go as flat! Let's light it up!
Wind strike.
Oh god, Kokomi does so little damage.
Time to go.
My Kokomi does so little damage. Okay, decent. Not anything great, but decent. So the reason I bring up Kokomi as like my lack of damage on her is actually because, well, for one, as you could imagine, she's on a level 60 Thrilling Tail. Oh, I forgot I put her on the Ocean Hued Clan. Oh my, I forgot. But she doesn't give the Tenacity of the Millilith bonus anymore, but she does have fairly high energy recharge and healing bonus, all things considered. I could probably stand to put Thrilling Tails a bit higher. Alternatively, can't give her Solar Pearl or Wood Sith. Dude, that's just not possible. But I could give her Skyward Atlas? Skyward Atlas, maybe? Okay, I definitely can't give her Favonius. Bro, imagine giving Kokomi Favonius. Good luck critting. Let me take a look-see real quick. Let me see what are... If I wanted to build a more damage-oriented Kokomi, how do people do it? I'm sure they still just use, what is that thing called? Oh, so they use Prototype Amber, huh? Really? Let me see. So even though everybody understands that Tenacity of the Millilith is almost certainly her best set, but as a mix between her support and DPS playstyles, we're most comfortably able to place her between Ocean Hued Clan because it's her best artifact set for DPS, but her second best for support, which is ideal in my opinion. So even though we could definitely just leave her on Thrilling Tales, I really don't know. Let me see, what does it say? Due to... Oh no, what did I change? Due to her high stamina cost on her charge attacks, her best attack strings are 1-2 dash, 1-2 dash. Oh, I see. Interesting. I could take. I mean, who's ever? I mean, I'd never. But then again, I could, like I said, give her Skyward Atlas and try to boost her raw damage up. I don't know. Well, I mean, this is just a pipe dream for now. I don't know if I'll invest in Kokomi's damage anytime soon. Especially when I have so many other characters more privy for the task. The task of damage dealing. One of the characters I actually was thinking, like, perchance I might invest in that way, is actually Bennett himself, the Boy Wonder. Like, I know you're almost always supposed to run Noblesse. However, this is the set that I run him on, and I think this is pretty fine. This enables him to have his burst off cooldown because he's got almost 260 energy recharge. And he's on Skyward Blade, which is part of the reason why he can have so much. There's almost some reason for me to suspect that I could maybe even drop this piece. Wait, his healing heals based off of his HP, correct? Max HP plus 914. So that's 8.4. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if I could change this Noblesse or this piece to attack percent and this piece to pyro damage, we could. I don't know if it's worth keeping this on healing bonus at that point. Maybe, but this will enable us to turn Bennett into more of a damage dealer. It might almost be worth it because, you know, when it comes to the Spiral Abyss, we're so often seconds away from beating certain contents. Meaning, if I just avoid taking more damage and giving myself more opportunities to deal damage in that way, that's most likely my best case scenario, I think. That's what I'm saying, like, it might actually be for the best to invest in Bennett in that way.
Things are about to get dicey. On, reveal thyself.
Goodness.
The wind knows me.
Gotcha.
The wind knows me. There's another one up here, a little southeast. And we'll see the other commission. What commission is this one? Oh, they're called Pudgy Pyrotechnics. Oh no, it's the... I assumed because of the... Oh, I always forget.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
I assumed because I saw the Hilichurl camp thing there, that it was going to be the Pudgy Pyrotechs. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Did I even introduce myself this video? Honestly, I'm a little scattered. I'm always a bit scattered, though. It's just I get so excited to talk about, like, certain Genshin stuff. Certain Genshin stuff, you know, there's really not too much to talk about, like, you know, on this particular day. what else is there to really converse about, right? Besides just what we do every day. Because we finished the event. Now, the event was a bang-up job. Like, they did fantastic on that Golden Apple Archipelago event. That's got to be one of the tops. That event was absolutely amazing. Absolutely fantastic. And they got to end the event with a big surprise. I'm not going to tell you what the surprise is, in case you haven't finished the event yourself, but it's a big deal. Okay, we finished this commission. Now there should only be one more. Where is it? Okay, let's go there. Like I mentioned before, we basically will only want to take characters to level 80 now. Well, support characters. Obviously, we intend to take them to 90 eventually, but because of how broke we are moral-wise, it's kind of hard to afford to do that. It actually is a bit tough.
Quietly now. Game's up. Mine's up. Oz, reveal thyself.
Oh my goodness.
Things are about to get dicey. By royal decree.
Oh jeez. Official Yelan damage is so strong. I'm really glad. I really am glad that I finally invested in Official. She was kept on the back burner for so long, and it's honestly kind of crazy, but she does the job that I used to assign to Raiden Shogun, but like way better. Like, she does a lot of active electro damage. Well, I guess active is the term. She does a lot of passive electro damage without a lot of investment into her field time, which is ideal. That's like what I would want out of her. I was hoping to get the same out of Raiden Shogun to an extent, but even that's not entirely realistic. Turn that in, get a level. Is there anything else worth doing? See, today's Saturday. I'll spend 160 more tomorrow, but that won't still be enough. But it'll be close enough, I guess. How much of this do we usually gain per day? I'm not gonna do this math on my own. I need to calculate it. 120 plus 300 plus 225. And that's about 645. So if I did this plus this tomorrow, that's enough for a whole extra level and to cap out the weekly EXP limit for sure. I guess let's go do it. We're not obviously don't have any resin to spend on any of these things, even though we actually do need to spend resin on these ley lines. Not for the quest though, but we just need to for the sake of our account's progression. But we could stand to beat up some mobs. It's not going to take a whole lot of time. In fact, it'll probably be done in less than 10 minutes. Which is the sad reality of a lot of Genshin Impact dailies, to be honest. Just hit him with one of these. And then one of these.
One with nature, as one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
I swear by my sword.
Oh god, I'm burning myself. Crazy. I didn't even know what happened, that domain or that ley line. Everything was just blowing up. Which is the typical reaction when playing with Kazuha. I don't even have a pyro unit on this team, but I was still mostly lighting everything on fire. I don't remember where the ley line is, but I think it's this way. Look at this, isn't that crazy? My Kazuha gets so much aerial mobility. Because he could use Chihayaburu every 5 seconds.
By royal decree, things are about to get dicey.
The wind clouds high.
Interesting.
Wind, hear me.
Into the wind.
He snapped his back again. I didn't expect to get a second instance of fall damage. Pretty nice, I must admit. Okay, now we do the ones in Liyue. Where they at though? Where they at though? Okay, there's this one. I don't know if so we could do. There's how many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 6 a day. I don't even know if that's gonna be enough. I might need to spend a bit of it. I forgot I was supposed to do the weekly bosses today. Ah, shit.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Oh my goodness. What the fuck? You get absolutely obliterated. You're gonna have to excuse my language there. I didn't mean to just let it rip like that. But holy...
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Odds reveal.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
Yeah, plus this is not bad for getting a couple extra certain items. It's not great, but it's something. It's something, and that's all we could ever really ask for. I don't know what, like, overworld mob will need to be farming a whole lot anyways, because I don't know what we could expect to be needing. I suppose we could pre-farm for Yoimiya on the off chance that we pull for her. I don't know if we're gonna pull for her, to be honest, because there's some part of me that feels that we need to devote more pull time to Sumeru characters. Which is a shame, because I think Yoimiya is a really fantastic character, and I'd really like to have her.
Busted. Game's up. It's over. By royal decree. Wings of darkness.
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my
They're not
night.
even gonna
Wind
survive.
strike.
Barbados. Guide us.
Jesus. Goodness me. You just get shattered all the time. Okay, now we just need this one, and then we'll be done with the ley lines. You see how quickly we did the ley lines? Bro, we did the ley lines, did my resin and commissions. I don't even use condensed resin because I tried to extend the amount of time that we spend in domains. And that I've only been live for 30 minutes. This is insane. How the hell do people farm content on this game? That's what I want to know. How do you do it?
Time to go.
Are you here to play with me? Quietly now. These are about to get dicey. Oz, reveal! Wow.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
God! Coming to...
The wind knows me.
Wait, hear me.
Jeez.
Time to go.
Purging, transformation. Belongs to us.
And that, my friends, is the power of Fischl. Isn't Fischl so kind of crazy strong? So let's see. If we know we can do 6 more tomorrow, that's just not enough. We would need to spend some resin to reset some of them. So we could do 6 for free. That puts, so then we would need to spend 60 resin. I think that's doable. That should be doable alongside doing whatever weekly bosses we need to do. But now how do we extend this stream to a longer playtime? How do you guys do it? I suppose if we're not cool, or okay, you know what we could do then? Let's quickly set this to graphics 1600 by 900 windowed. I know that looks like shit for you guys, but you're just gonna have to deal with it for a moment. Now I'm gonna launch. Where the hell do I have it in any case? So is it here? Oh, here it is. Inventory camera. Okay, beautiful. How do I do this again? I always forget. See, I have to launch the GitHub because I don't remember the instructions. How to configure, yeah, how to run. Oh, on the Paimon menu, and then we just click scan. Bet. So Paimon menu, scan Genshin.
Wherever in this world I roam.
I just don't even touch my mouse. The reason we're doing this is because I would like to set up some possibilities of maybe putting Bennett on a DPS set, and it gives me the opportunity to work on potentially some other characters too. Like, what if I wanted to get Klee up and running, right? Not that I would want to, but you get what I'm saying. I would have the potential to do so, should I want to. And that's the part that I would really like to try to. That's why I'm running this thing right now. And if you're unaware, I'm like almost guaranteeing to you that this software here, the inventory camera, is not against Genshin Impact's terms of service as of right now. I can't promise that that would be something in the future. So always use these softwares with a hint of hesitation and concern. I am definitely concerned about the possibility of losing my account to this software, but you know how it goes, right? If I lose my account to this software, or as a result of this software, then that's just how it is, right? That'll just be the end of Genshin for me. But this is like not a harmful software, which is why it's seen in kind of this gray threshold. not that and again, I did not speak for Hoyoverse. I do not pretend to understand the full extent of what they're capable of through any of these softwares. All I know is all that this software does is record all of these like artifacts, weapons, and who they're attached to, so that I can import that logged file that it creates to the optimizer website so that it can help me do exactly that, exactly to optimize my damage output for certain characters, or optimize any aspect of a character. Let's say I wanted to optimize my Kokomi's healing potential. It's capable of doing that, which I think is fantastic. There's not too much resource in this world that can accomplish these things for free. And like I said, doing this does not provide me any advantage over somebody running the numbers themselves, which is why it's like not seen as a big issue amongst the developers right now, at least assumingly. Again, all this does is if you used to have to do math on paper and pencil, then this is essentially the calculator. You get what I'm saying? It still does the same math you had to do, but now it does it with a little more ease, and it takes some of the responsibility off of you. Sure, you still have to give it instruction, but it takes a lot of the tediousness out of the manual work you would have had to put in, and it solves it itself. It's fantastic. You got an absolutely brilliant software and website. And the fact that they work in combination, great. Absolutely great. 10 out of 10. There are some aspects of it that I would wish were a little bit better, like I think it's particularly this inventory camera that has this error sometimes. But every once in a while, when it gets to scanning my characters, it'll scan a character that I don't even have. Yep. You see how it's doing it automatically? I'm not even moving my mouse. Actually, it tells me if I move my mouse, it'll probably break the whole scan, and I'd have to redo it anyways. And you know, I'm definitely not trying to do that. It does take a fair bit of time because, in an effort to try to get it to lower its errors that it occasionally has, the ones that I was just mentioning, I set its scanning rate to be a bit slower so that it has less room to make error. Because it tries to do everything so fast on its default setting, which is, by default, I have it set to its fastest setting. So I just lowered it down, which they give you the option to do so. In general, when it's just scanning artifacts, it tends to not have any errors, but when scanning the characters, that's when it starts to misplace things. Which is fair. One of the nice things about the optimizer website, though, is its ability to assume artifact level. That way, it gives you an opportunity to level up artifacts that are inherently at their strongest, which does not presume that an artifact might be luckier than another once, you know, the substats start delving into it. But let's say I just wanted to build Sayu, for example, right? And I don't particularly care how decent her artifacts put on her. It could just give me the strongest base level artifacts. And then, you know, if I upgrade them and they happen to be good, then they happen to be good. But if not, then it is what it is as well. Which I think is a fantastic
It is the last
way to use this as well.
to the land of my birth.
Now it's gonna run through some of the characters. Absolutely brilliant. While it's doing this, I'm going to go grab something really quickly. I'll be right back. Alright, my Hydra homies, I'm back. And it looks like it's still not done, which is great. Well, it's not great, I was hoping it would be done by now, but... It's great that I was able to take care of what I needed to take care of real quick. It's an efficient use of time, right? Yanfei is one of the characters I'd like to get up. I actually really enjoyed Yanfei's character in the Chasm event. The one with her and Yelan. I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed Xinyan in the Golden Apple Archipelago event as well, but I don't know if I enjoyed her enough to use her. That we will have to see. That should officially be the last character, right? Yep. So now it shall have saved everything, which means I could finally gain recontrol. Oops. Let me set this first of all right back to there. Export the scanned data. Today's the 23rd? Yes. Is today Saturday? It is Saturday. Okay, great. Okay, so what I would like to show you here, this is, let's see, I forgot how to, okay, this is that website, the optimizer website. So what we do is we go to settings, we will delete this database and upload, oh actually this seems like it could be risky. Let me ensure that it's I don't know where it's saved to. Can't recommend allowing you to see all my nonsense. Okay. So I'll put this, you just find the file that it created, and you click replace database. So now you see it has all the characters, artifacts, and weapons, correct? Let me take a look, see at this. Did it have any errors? It doesn't appear to have had any errors, so we should be good to go. So now, as you can see, this will allow me to mess around with maybe certain potential things, like let's say, let's get Bennett involved, right? It didn't get us cut because it's a 4-star cut, but whatever the case. Let's assume that we wanted to optimize. Let's assume that these are level 20. And what we want to do here is we want to keep it on Noblesse Obliged. We only want to run one version of this, but we want his skill damage on Fantastic Voyage to be as bumping as possible. So, to that measure, that in an effort to help things along here, I could set this to attack, which will limit the amount of this that it has to filter through. I'm sure if I really cared, I could put pyro damage here as well, but we'll see how long this is going to take. It should be pretty quick in any case, because there's only so many Noblesse Oblige sets for it to run. Although Noblesse Oblige is one of the artifact sets that I have the most of, so it certainly does appear to be taking some time still. That's more than okay. Like I said, we're primarily factoring in as much damage as possible, and so we'll see how that looks like. Because I don't know how much energy recharge Bennett actually needs. I suppose we could look at that while that's loading. Let me see. Let's go to the Genshin builds. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to Kaching mains. Bennett. Let's see. What's his ER requirements? 1 E per Q. Without a pyro DPS. Wow, so he would need about 275 to 350? That's insane. But if he did have a funneler, I suppose he would need less of that. Energy recharge calculator. No, I'm kind of not down for that right now. Medium or attack, power damage, and crit. Well, let's see what this has concluded thus far. So, $46. That put me at about 2010. Honestly, this is not very high burst damage. My crit rate would be fairly low, but it's surely because I don't have better crit stats that it reaches this case. Okay, well, what if we change this up a bit? So, evidently, wait, with this he would have far less. So, let's say we use ER here and crit rate here and try. This will be even less builds than before, so it should be even quicker possibilities. I'm just trying to find the absolute highest fantastic voyage damage that we can realistically expect to accomplish. Since evidently we still need to keep his ER a bit higher. So we have him on Skyward Blade. But that's because it's my only 5-star sword. So I can't really put him on anything besides Skyward Blade, right? Not possible. Okay, well, this gives me significantly lower average damage, which is kind of crazy. Wow, wait a moment. Based off of using I mean, he should only have one artifact set, right? It's almost always just 4-piece Noblage. Noblesse. It's gotta be Noblesse. But I don't know. I don't know what's the best way to improve Bennett's damage here. Because we surely must run... Okay, so what if we run attack, pyro damage, crit rate, and assume at least level 20? If at all possible, this should be, in theory, his highest average damage. Of course, that does kind of rely on my ability to provide that damage. Let's see what it spits out. I mean, it's pretty high. Hey, yo. Turn that shit off. Wait. Is that what I need to have on? Right. Is there a way for me to... I don't understand how to use this now. Is there a way for me to limit the... I thought that this was... I thought that this was the way to limit it. You're telling me I don't have one build that meets these requirements? But how could that be? I already know this is gonna fuck everything up. Because it's not gonna suggest Noblesse anymore. Yeah, it's gonna suggest 4-piece Noblesse. Which we want to keep him on 4-piece Noblesse. But, I mean, goddamn, look at that skill damage. This is not optimal. How can this be? Is it this? Is it because I selected that? Do I really just like not have the Noblesse set to do this? Because I don't have crit rate? This gives me hell of attack, which is at least something. So this set's makeable. I could make this set right now, but this does lower my total energy recharge. So what if I did this instead? I surely can do this. Surely can't. So let's compare against. So I lose a bit of skill, or I lose a tiny bit of healing, but honestly that's kind of okay. As opposed if I was to use these two. Am I not using these pieces on anybody? If I was... So I would gain a not so significant amount of damage, to be honest. Wow, what is this flower? Holy. Flower's kind of poggers. And this feather's kind of dog shit. Okay, so assuming that I were to do this, like I said, initially I would be swinging for... I would almost be doubling my Bennett's damage. But also never mind the fact that my talents are pretty low. You know, like what if I was to boost this to 6? Then all of a sudden we're swinging for some real numbers here, right? Yeah, now that's a significant difference. I don't know if it's such a big difference. Let's see what my theoretical maximum would be right now if I used equipped artifacts. This means all artifact pieces are available. It's still 6k, so nothing changed there. This is just gonna... Okay, so this is my theoretical maximum damage that I could perform on Bennett today, right now. On a Noblesse set. This keeps my crit rate and my crit damage at kind of even levels, but I rob half my characters of half their stuff. Particularly my Beto. But look at the damage, it's nice, isn't it? Now I could be swinging for 3500s and be dropping little 7k nukes. I know that's not particularly like fantastic or anything, but I still keep like 220 ER. Like this is a pretty good set overall. I'm not going to equip it though. This was just to show you like theoretically how to use this page. Like let's show you another one that we could do for fun. So let's say I wanted to do the same thing for Kokomi, right? Let's say I wanted to swap out her weapon with this Skyward Atlas. And let's say I pump the Skyward Atlas to 90. So now let's optimize her damage a bit. We want to assume that she's... Well, first of all, let's assume that these are talent level 6. All the way across the board. Oh yeah, and let's assume she's in her burst. That's important. So we want to optimize her one-hit damage, because as far as I can tell, she's supposed to just do 1-2 dash, 1-2 dash. Right, so let's reset conditional, so everything's allowed. Use equipped artifacts, do a 1 build, and see where this takes us. This could take some time to build, but it's exciting because we get to see what, you know, my theoretical maximum damage on Kokomi could be right now, like quite literally today. Or maybe not today, because I don't have the Skyward Atlas built to 90. Nor do I have her talents at level 6. But, you know, this is still fun. It allows me to see what her highest potential damage would be. And again, in her burst. Because the general consensus is that if you're not in Kokomi's burst, it's not even really worth building her for DPS. It's just sad but true. Okay, so the highest average damage I could get on her is 2 Tenacity and 2 Maiden Beloved. I would involve stealing an awful lot of her. Oh wow, she would be hitting for like 7Ks. Okay, now what if I did not allow myself to steal my other character's artifacts? So again, it would have been 6,700, more or less. Let's see what it would be with untaken artifact sets. Meaning these artifact sets do not currently belong to anybody. So if I was to throw it on, I could still get her up to 6,100. Now compare it against her current thing. See, honestly, the difference is not so incredibly high that I would consider doing it. Well, it's actually pretty good because of the Skyward Atlas extra damage as well. It's not terrible. She still heals for quite a bit, which I guess is something. She already has these 2 pieces. I would just throw these pieces on. So it's Maiden Beloved and Ocean Hued Clan. So those are both healing bonuses. But then she would lose. So you see, like, the problem, right? And why sometimes the artifact set's worth more. So like right now, I'm kind of like okay with the Ocean Hued Clam. I kind of wish that I could... Oh, I actually can build for the maximum Ocean Hued Clam damage. Which evidently I obviously already have it built. It's the only Ocean Hued Clam damage I got. But it would advise using this one over whatever I have here. I have that on HP, and it actually suggests that I put this hydro damage. Which is interesting. I would not have foreseen that. Oh, it's because... Ah, never mind. I'm dense. I forgot I had it locked to hydro damage. Okay, so that's the maximum one. Which is what we're already using on Kokomi, but you see how fun that this could be? Like, let's say... See, who would be a fun one to theorize? Ah, Ganyu. So let's say we just purely want to take her back, right? I only want... Let's assume this. I'm almost certain that I would purely want her on Emblem of Severed Fate. And I would just want to boost her Celestial Shower damage. So we know we would want cryo damage bonus, so we could set that. Oh geez, I didn't mean to load 5 builds. 1 would have been plenty, thanks. Ew, HP. Oh, it's literally suggesting HP because of the energy recharge. So if I wanted to put Ganyu back on, this is how it would suggest I would to do it right now. But you see how it's using these plus zeros because it's assuming that these are still the strongest out of things that I have that aren't that aren't, how would you say, being taken by another character. So it's assuming that their main stat is at least plus 20, but the substats it's not accounting for. That's the power of the assume at least is level 20. That's why it's using these plus 0 artifact pieces. So obviously, we do stand to lose a lot. As you see, my damage almost overall takes a significant hit in all regards, but what I gain is, I mean, I guess in truth not that much energy recharge. Okay, so once again, let's reset these conditionals, and let's say I just wanted to do the highest ice shard damage possible. No, I said reset the conditionals. Allow. So now, let's see, how do we get the highest damage out of any artifact set? The problem is that if I was to set it like this, it's not going to give me very high ER at all. Most likely. Yeah, so this would be 2 Noblesse, 2 Gladiator. And in truth, I wouldn't gain a whole lot of ice shard damage, considering I would be losing a whole lot of, I guess not too much ER either, but as you can see, there is a difference. I would lose out definitely on my melee damages, and especially the frost-like arrow, but I would gain damage in my 2 skills at least, which is something. And it's pretty easy to achieve this. However, again, I think I would need ER to make this as strong as possible. So if I was to put ER main stat, I honestly don't lose too much damage compared to what I have right now, while still getting a decent ER ratio. I have some like okay crit, and you know, overall this looks pretty nice. I lose a bit of damage in these regards, but I should have way more uptime on my Celestial Shower, which in that regard is pretty good. We're gonna clear this because I'm not gonna run that, but you see how it opens up possibilities for us? Oh, it doesn't have my Traveler in the right form. How do I tell it that I'm geo-traveling? Thinks I'm Animo Traveler. But would it be in talents? No, right here. I'm actually geo-traveler, thanks. Not that that's particularly relevant right now, but I am in geo-travel. That much is true. Let's see, what's another fun one we could mess around with? So let's say Garo could be a fun one to mess around with. Okay, let's say Goro. Let's say for Goro, first of all, let's pretend this is talent 6. I don't know what that means. In any case, let's optimize him for as much skill damage as possible. We definitely want crit rate. Here though. The thing is this does not accommodate for the fact that he scales off of defense, I think. I don't know, we're getting kind of weird with this, but... This should be fine to test out in any case. Let's see what his skill damage would be. This would give him quite a bit more. While still keeping kind of a lot of his main stats. Of course, the energy recharge can stand to be higher because he's only using a level 50 bow. This makes his defense quite large, which this is ideal. He'll be healing for 800 on his ultimate. Let me see, can I insist that somewhere? That doesn't seem to be something I can insist anywhere. Well, whatever. Whatever. Then I had this listed for 5 builds. Totally unnecessary. Obviously, I'm pretty sure the Goro build that I have is already going to be his best build for damage. So I'll just leave that as I'll leave that. But let's continue to theorize. Like, let's say that I wanted to build Rosaria right here and now, right? So in this particular case, I'm going to manually change her level and talents, because this I would change it to 80 first of all, and then put her to 60, or I'm sorry, to level 6 on both of these. Yeah, I don't care about that. So the thing is I would most assuredly want her to be on 4-piece emblem. Almost guaranteed. Honestly, probably want her energy recharge as well. And I want... Why is it 2 instances of skill down? I would want this to be as much skill damage as possible, whilst having a bunch of ER. Honestly, this doesn't look like it's a whole lot of damage. Oh, well, I guess it's because she's on a level 1 weapon. Let's assume I gave her a level 90 deathmatch, though. I should have a deathmatch that's not being... Oh yeah, here it is. Again, this is just for assumption purposes. Let me re-optimize this with the newfound data. So she would be doing like okay damage while having a lot of ER. She would use Pale Flame here for what reason? Because it's got the crit rate? Looks like it. Her stats would be quite nice. She almost... I mean, she... Oh, that's not... yeah, her crit rate, she'd have a 1-2 ratio, which is not bad, I'd say. What is Rosaria's Ascension stat? I'm assuming it must be attack, based off the fact that she has so much attack. And no cryo damage bonuses. Wait, no cryo damage bonus. Well, what if I wasn't to put a stat restriction at all? This would be a fair bit higher, but her energy recharge would be a fair bit lower as well. Honestly, that's pretty nice damage, all things considered. Actually, I kind of like it. Rosaria could be built pretty easily from the looks of things, and she looks like she deals pretty okay damage. 53 to 120. It's not a terrible crit ratio. You know, especially because, like I said, I do have this deathmatch just sitting around. Okay, let's stop playing around with this for now. I think I've sufficiently stalled enough time. So let's see. So the problem is I think Rosaria has I think I really need this talent at least, right? Because that's her burst. Yeah, and adding 4 seconds to it is kind of a big deal. That's a huge deal. I think that makes or breaks Rosaria. Because Rites of Termination lasts for 8 seconds, but with her burst, it would, or with C2, it would last for 12. Which means she would have almost damn near permanent uptime on her ability. Which, I think that's kind of a big deal. Oh shit, you know what we would like to see? Is... Okay, actually we're not done looking at stuff yet. So what I want to see is catching main Toma. They've got to have a Toma guide by now. What are his ER requirements? Let me see. Facts and assumptions. Builds, artifacts. Seems like Emblem of Severed Fate is the worst one, but the thing is we have him at C6 already. Well, how do I figure this out? Let me try out this energy recharge calculator. So, I need to blind you for a second because I don't know. Okay. I hope that... I don't really understand how to use this. Make this nobody. Oh, you know what? Let's say I was gonna use Hu Tao, Homa, no, Hu Tao, Toma, no. Would I ever even use Hu Tao? Surely, right? I feel like no. Who would be a decent buddy? I feel like Child would be good with him, but I don't have Child. Oh, well, let's just pretend it was gonna be Hu Tao anyways. Hu Tao. Toma. Probably Zhongli. Let's just say Xing Cho. I need one skill. But also, I could lower. How do I dictate? Bonus non-particle energy. So he would gain 15 energy. So I need him to be 178. So the reason that's relevant here is, let's just pretend I was going to build Toma instead of Rosario, right? Again, this is just theoretical fun. Let's assume that we swap this with this. Let's assume he's level 90, or at least like this, I guess. Let's assume this is 9 and this is 9. And then okay, we can equip this. That doesn't really change anything. And we can leave that as it is for now. Okay, so what we want to see here is we need a build constraint. We need this to be 178. But otherwise, we want to boost fiery collapse damage as much as possible. So this will bring me to a build that tries to reach my energy recharge restraint, while boosting my damage as much as possible, if possible. Plus, I would have deathmatch. So we'll see what it comes up with. This is exciting to see. The thing that's a shame to know is that Toma does unfortunately have a really terrible scaling. I'm lagging a bit because for it to calculate all the builds takes up quite a bit of resource. It's a shame because we actually really could build Toma. But everyone recognizes that Toma's kind of not really that good, which is that's a shame. You got to admit. Let's see. It's come up with a build. Whether the build's good or not, we don't know. Actually, this looks pretty good. This actually looks pretty good. A pretty decent Toma build, even though Toma is actually like a terrible character. It doesn't give me too big of a shield. It actually gives me almost no shield altogether. Two-piece viridescent veneer, huh? That's what it came up with? Because of the HP? Wow, that's really interesting. Oh, it's because I didn't assign level assumptions. That's just my bad, bro. Let me assume level 20 again. Now it's gonna take even longer. It's a shame, but it no doubt is what it is. We'll just let it run for a bit. And then after this, I suspect we'll go play Smite or something. We'll just let it run through. Then we'll see how it goes. Yep, this is sure taking a significant amount of time, so hopefully this finishes a little bit quickly. It's eating up quite a bit of the resource that I have as well. I mean, I feel like no matter what, let me just cancel this. This should shorten the amount of time. No matter what, I'm gonna have crit damage, so yeah, that's speeding things along quite quickly. Let's see what the build comes up with now that we've assumed level 20. Assuming level 20 adds a lot of calculation to the mix, because now it's factoring in all like 1200 of my viable artifacts instead of the like 200 that I have leveled up to 20. Let us see, let us see. It's still unfortunately taking a little bit of time, but it's not that big of a deal. This is nice. Normally it would be a tiny bit faster if I factor in a few things. Like, I suppose if I really wanted to, I could like manually force like pyro damage. Not that well, I'm actually not sure if pyro damage is like a big bonus or not. We'll surely see the build right now, so there's no reason for me to speculate anymore. No room for speculations. We'll just allow it to be whatever it'll be. Okay, let us see. So this is the build that it ultimately came up with. This should, in theory, so Noblesse and Gladiator. This more or less is the same damage as it was offering before. It's really not a lot of damage, which is so sad, but it's okay damage while providing me a bunch of shields. Let me take a look at Toma again from the inside. So his burst... You see, this is the problem with it. Oh, actually, it's kind of okay. No, wait, what's Scorching Oyori? What's that? Oh, I see. So if we hit the total maximum amount of times that Fiery Collapse can be triggered, which is once every second, and it lasts for 15 seconds, let's assume it'll do 14 total casts of it. If it does about, we'll say 14, or realistically it'll probably do like 12 casts, right? Because I have to switch out characters, and that's assuming that I use him second to last. So if that's the case, that'll do 2300 damage times about 12, we'll say. So it'll do a total of 27,600 damage, which is not terribly high. In fact, it's not high at all. It certainly feels like it's almost impossible to maximize Toma's damage. But look at his stats anyways. Like, if I wanted to use him, it definitely looks viable enough. He would add... This should, in theory, be enough energy recharge to use his burst off cooldown, assuming I just do E-burst every time. Under that assumption, yeah, it should be enough. Plus, if I ever have another Favonius character, which, like, I have Favonius Zhongli, so that would be a probability as well. Yeah, so with that being the case, this should be enough energy recharge, like I was mentioning, to be able to get him to the next level. It's unfortunate that his damage is so low. Like, it's really low. Like, it's so low. Does him being level 90 at all make any difference to the optimization? 2359. That didn't really change much, huh? Well, he gains virtually no damage. That also is because it's adjusting this to match my level. So he probably would gain like 200-ish damage from being the highest level, but oh, you couldn't even see that. I forgot. Would factor this in. He's such a weird character. Oh my god, I'm broke on EXP books. I forgot. I can hardly even afford to level him up to 20. And I only want to even do that to get my free... I can't even ascend them because I don't have enough fungus. Looks like I can't even ascend Toma even if I wanted to. Well, I suppose that's it for Genshin for today. I know it was kind of a boring day. I mean, we did everything that we needed to do, right? We spent all the resin. Oh, actually, let me go to the teapot. We spent all of our resin for today. We re-updated our Genshin database, which is efficient. We needed to do that. That way we could, you know, it helps us create theoretical builds, which is nice. We do. I do enjoy doing that. I do think that was beneficial to us. And these. Okay, let's just go ahead and get off Genshin for today then. I probably will have the we'll probably play some Smite. I'll have a Smite a small break before the Smite stream, yeah. You know, refresh myself and all this. I do have some like stuff to do today, so I can't play Smite for that long, but maybe another couple hours, huh? Or actually, I wonder if I can even fit in the time to play Smite today. Well, I already set on... I'm a little torn. Actually, I don't think I can play Smite today. I know I said that I could on the Twitter, and I was even suggesting that I might be able to now, but... I actually think I don't have enough time to play Smite. It's a bit sad, but I can't really change anything about that. I just can't, you know? So I apologize if you were excited to see me play Smite. Unfortunately, I can't play today. I probably could play tomorrow, but just not today. It's unfortunate, I understand. It sucks for me too, because I actually really enjoy playing Smite. I had a ton of fun playing yesterday. But if my schedule opens up a bit today, which, you know, it's possible, but I wouldn't hold my breath. If my schedule opened up today, then we can play Smite. Still, you could follow me on Twitter, linked in the description down below, to know if I was planning to update my Smite gameplay to later to today after all. Otherwise, as of right now, we can consider the Smite stream cancelled. It's unfortunate. I really wouldn't like to cancel it, but I actually forgot what I had to do. Well, I didn't forget what I had to do today, but I was hoping that I could like skirt around doing what I have to do today, but I really probably shouldn't. Okay, so thank you so much for coming out. I really hope you enjoyed. I know we didn't like do anything adventurous today on Genshin Impact, but you know, it's a shame. Not that there's too much adventuring I can do, you know? There's only a limited amount of stuff that I could realistically do in Genshin Impact. And we did all the main stuff. We farmed artifacts. We didn't get any good ones. We farmed, and we farmed, and we farmed, and nothing particularly great came out of it. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's the end of that. It is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We will stream tomorrow for sure. Whether we can include a Smite stream or not is beyond me. I will be sure to let you know. I'll see if I can knock out everything that I'm supposed to have done to keep me from being busy tomorrow by doing it today. That's kind of why I have to last minute cancel the Smite stream. But, you know, it is what it is. I hope to see you guys at tomorrow's stream as well. If, like I mentioned one last time, if what I have to do today ends up being a fair bit easier than I'm expecting it to, or not take as long as I'm expecting it to, then you can follow my Twitter to be notified if I'm going to change the stream schedule at all. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow, alright? Peace, late, and have a good rest of your day.